People yap about the dreams they chase, big plans on show in a noisy space, talking loud but moving slow, hollow words where actions go. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay. Empty promises fill the air. Procrastination everywhere. Stop the act, just make the move. Whoa. Show your grind, let talent groove. Whoa. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay. Enough of words, let's see the deeds. Don't just plant but sow the seeds. Show the grit beneath your skin. Let the real work begin. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay. Enough of words, let's see the deeds. Don't just plant but sow the seeds. Show the grit beneath your skin. Let the real work begin. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay. Words, let's see the deeds. Just plant and sow the seeds. Show the grit beneath your skin. Let the real work begin. Shut up and produce, get things done. No one cares about talk spun. Prove your worth or walk away. It's about the work you lay.
I used to roam those crowded streets where all the ghosts are known, but I'm a torch to every bridge, ain't scared to let them go. I got my past in the rear view mirror. All the voices couldn't be any clearer. They say don't burn bridges, don't you dare. I got dynamite, I just don't care. Blow them up, let the pieces fly. Watch the dust settle underneath the sky. Never look back, keep my head held high. No more tears, I won't cry. They say make amends, learn to forgive. I know what it takes to truly live. Cut the ties and watch me thrive. This is my life, I won't just survive. Blow them up, let the pieces fly. Watch the dust settle underneath the sky. Never look back, keep my head held high. No more tears, I won't cry. They say that time can heal the wounds, but I'm not one to wait. Patience lost in the inferno, burning past debate. Each step away, another layer peeling off my skin, emerging from the ashes, ready to begin. Memories like shadows, they fade away. Couldn't weigh me down on my brightest day. Goodbye to the old, I'm breaking free. No regrets, this is the new me. Blow them up, let the pieces fly. Watch the dust settle underneath the sky. Never look back, keep my head held high. No more tears, I won't cry. Just don't look back. The past is just a memory in gray and black. Keep walking forward, leave the wreckage far behind. I'm setting fire to every bond that tried to hold my mind. Bridges, don't look back. The past is just a memory in gray and black. Keep walking forward, leave the wreckage far behind. I'm setting fire to every bond that tried to hold my mind. They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
Welcome back to another Tuesday night episode of Tech Q&A with yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. How is everyone doing tonight? Hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you had a great Tuesday and a great Monday and a great weekend. I know it's cold out there outside. Winter is here, right? Winter is here. I know it's cold out there, but hopefully you are able to stay warm. I know some people they have to go out and shovel snow and stuff like that, and it's absolutely crazy. I have never had to shovel snow. I'm just gonna admit that right now. I don't look forward to it either. But for those who have to shovel snow and are, freezing in 10-degree weather, my heart goes out to you. But you could be down here and be underwater in a few years. So you got to pick your poison. All right. So we have a lot of good questions in store for us tonight. I have a few. I have a different look for tonight. I'm going to try it out. We'll see how it works. If it doesn't work, next we'll go back to what we're used to. But I'm going to try something out. I'm going to try something new out. We shall see. All right. Oh my goodness. That scar on my head is right there. Oh my goodness. I can see it right through the camera. Anyways, so that is a scar that my training partner, Justin, gave me last Friday. And I just, it's pretty, I kind of hope it stays. It looks pretty cool, to be honest with you. Right. But we're not here to talk about Justin scratching me like Wolverine. We are here to have Tech Q&A. Before we get into Tech Q&A, we're going to go through our agenda real quick. We're going to get through that really quick, and then we will get into our questions. I have a call at 10:30 Eastern tonight. Shout out to my tech barbarians who do not sleep. We put in the work all day, all night, because, like I said earlier, we are engineered to win. All right. So let me jump into our agenda, and then I will check the chat, and then we shall get into our questions. All right. So first and foremost, I just got to say a big thank you to all of the subscribers to the channel, those who are new, those who have been with me for a very long time. I appreciate all of you.
I appreciate you.
And I see some of the cybersecurity content, the ethical hacking content is getting some traction. So I'm really happy to see that. I'm happy to see that that's adding value. I see the large language model course videos are getting some traction too. And that's awesome, as well as the DevOps stuff. So I'm really happy to see that. Happy that I'm able to add value into all of your lives. We're just looking to run it up, whether we're running it up on the channel or whether I'm helping you run it up in your lives, getting new skills. That is absolutely awesome. That is my greatest joy, so that I can see that the work that I'm doing here, it is giving you some insight, it's giving you some context, and it is giving you hopefully some inspiration to go out there and learn this stuff. Maybe you are in tech, maybe you're in cybersecurity for a very long time, and you're thinking about jumping into creating some content. I encourage you to get started, because at the end of the day, what are you waiting for, and what do you have to lose? As my second favorite runner-up had said, at this point, what difference does it make? So you might as well get started. Okay. All right. So other thing, I want to say a big shout out to my tech barbarians, my tech prodigy members, my technical explorers, all of the Patreon members. You guys are absolutely amazing. The work that you put in and day out. Those who are, who set their coaching calls and they're just putting in the work, learning, maneuvering, all that good stuff. You guys are so absolutely amazing. You guys are the best.
We the best.
And shout out to the tech mercenaries out there, those who support, those are the YouTube members of this channel who keep the channel running. You guys, I appreciate you guys so much. You guys, you know what? Let's get it.
Let's get it.
And I can never, ever forget, shout out to the bag chasers out there.
Money.
We do a lot of work. We had a great, and I have it in the Patreon as well. We had a great agile night where my guy, the wealth building journey, he was taking us through the debt to equity ratio and breaking that down. It was really good. People found it very valuable. So that's the type of things that we do in the Patreon, the Tech Coach Ralph Patreon. We share information and some really cool stuff, right? So shout out to everybody out there, right? Okay. Next up, quick updates. So tomorrow morning, we're going to be going live. After the show, I'm going to schedule that. We're going to be going live with our large language model course. Thursday night, we're going to be doing ethical hacking. So tomorrow morning, large language model, I plan on starting to map out or write out the idea or concept for my content creation AI workflow that's going to help me streamline all the things that I do. So you're going to get like a pretty much an inside look of all the different things that I do when I'm setting up a video. Tomorrow's going to probably be focused on the uploaded video, though not the live streams, but then we're going to end up adding like options for if it's a live stream, then do this. If it's a pre-recorded video, then do this. If it's a short, then do this. So that's all going to come into play. But tomorrow I'm going to start writing that out so that we can have a good idea of where we want to go. And the actual purpose of me taking this course, this is a big part of the purpose, is for me to be able to streamline all of the stuff that I do when setting up a video. It can go it's faster than doing everything, like writing everything out, but I think I can still make it better. So that is the goal, right? And then Thursday, we're going to be going into the ethical hacking course. We're going to be going over reconnaissance, where it's like information gathering. So that's the plan for Thursday. Okay. So I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow morning around 7:30-ish. And then Thursday night, 7:30. So tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. All right. And then tomorrow, our pre-recorded content, we're going to be premiering, talking about, so what I'm going to be premiering tomorrow is how I figured out how to install Kali Linux on UTM. We tried it the past 2 weeks. We had issues, but I actually figured it out. So I'm going to show you the 2 ways that I figured it out so that you can, in case you have to use UTM, in case you can't use VMware Fusion Pro, or you can't use VirtualBox and UTM is your only option, I'm going to show you how I figured it out. It should work for you as well, but I'm curious to see. But I have the video already recorded. I just have to schedule it for tomorrow noon Eastern time. So I'll be in the chat with you in case you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. Okay. So that is our upcoming plans for the next couple of days. Okay. So that is everything. Do me a big favor though, before we go any further, if you haven't done so already, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification so you know every time we go live and drop new content as well. Check out techcoachdrop.dev. You can sign up for free. Tons of amazing content over there. Things that come into my mind, some of the different things that I do in order to stay productive and efficient. All of that good stuff. I have the sprint reviews that I upload which is available for all free members. I have the full Scrum Night that is available for the lowest tiered paid members, where I break down how the agile methodology works when we're doing our sprint review, our Scrum Night, our sprint review, our sprint retrospective, where we're looking back on the past 2 weeks on how things went. And we're doing our sprint planning for the next 2 weeks of what we're going to looking to accomplish, our goals for those next 2 weeks. So I make that available to everyone in the Patreon so that you can have an inside look of how software development works. The stuff that you don't see, right? All you see is the software being produced, but you don't see what happens on the back end, right? Also, today I went ahead. So get this, right? Get this. Good old Apple, Mitch's favorite company, Apple, right? They had rejected the time cost calculator app because they said they didn't like my screenshots. So I had to figure out a way to get the right screenshots today. It was a mess. I started last night and ended up going to sleep around 12:30 p.m. or a.m. midnight. And then today I did some more work on it and I got it. So I uploaded it. I'm waiting to see if they're going to give me an approval or not, to see what else I need to do. I don't know. It's a headache, but it is what it is. It is what it is when you're dealing with Apple. But you know what? I take everything back if Apple reaches out to me and says, hey, we have a sponsorship for you. You know what? No love, no, we're good. We are good, right? So let me turn on the call-in link as well in case anybody is looking to call in and have a conversation. I am more than happy to have that conversation with you. Let me turn it in. I even have my headphones on, right? Because I think I'm just going to go with headphones when I'm doing this type of show. I don't like when the sound effects get all mixed in with the mic and stuff like that. I got to figure that out, right? Anyways, enough talking from me. Let me check the chat and then we will get to our questions. We're going to try out my new look and feel to see how that goes. Who knows? who knows what to expect, right? So let's start off with this, right? We got my guy, Prince Marky D, in the building. DJ Prince Marky D said, I noticed a lot of my young channels are doing this live thing that isn't live. It used to take a third-party platform to do that, but is that built into YouTube now? Just curious. I don't think it's built into YouTube. I've seen it happen, but I know how to do it through a third-party platform. But I really don't think it's built into YouTube because I don't really think YouTube wants people to say something is live that's not actually live. I think YouTube would rather people use a Premiere feature. But I think when you have something live, unless it's like one of those music channels where you're just like streaming like a video of music playing, and that's like quote unquote live. But if it's like a video like this and I put it as live and it's not live, I don't know. I don't think YouTube themselves actually want that to happen. I think they'd rather people premiere it. But there are third party platforms that are able to do that. So, but yeah, I have seen that, but I really don't think it's YouTube that's making that available to them. We got my guy Yakar in the building, Mr. Technique. Please say the dash is in the building. What's up, Yakar? We got my guy, me, Mystify, in the building up there in Detroit. Do you live in Detroit or are you just, because I'm not sure if you're in Detroit or if you're in Michigan, but regardless, in Michigan, it is cold up there. Hopefully you are staying warm. Me, Mystify, good evening to you, my guy, me, Mystify. Let's go.
We the best.
Let's see. It says you can't see it on the side. Yeah, I mean, it kind of blends in with my skin, but if I didn't have the hat on, it would look a perfect wrap. Don't tell anybody this, but I kind of hope it stays because it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. I just say it looks kind of fierce, right? At least in my eyes, right? We got, let me see. We got Night Jade in the building. What's up, Night Jade? How are you doing? So happy to see you here. And yes, Yakar, Apple did reject my app. So I'm checking to see if they've approved it yet. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, dealing with Apple sometimes it's a bit of a headache every now and then. But we shall see. I'm just waiting for my approval now. All right, cool. So let me see. So that is all of the chat for now. Let's get into this. Let's see what happens. Right? I'm gonna try something new, and you know, I like to experiment. You know, make it work and then make it better. And if it doesn't work at all, then you know it goes with. Me, Mystify says, so you do live in Detroit. Awesome. Right? It says, all is well, just been busy and slacking at my content and need a motivation boost of some kind. Views are down and killing my motivation. You know what, me, Mystify, we had this conversation before, right? Don't depend on the views. Make the content that's that interesting to you, that's exciting to you, and the people who rock with it, the views will come. You know, keep testing out your amps and your speakers and stuff like that. A lot of times what I've noticed, right? YouTube can be seasonal. You know, so they'll boost your content sometimes and they won't boost it sometimes. And then you might start to lose a little bit of motivation. Honestly, for me, I have all like my stuff, it's on a schedule, and whether a video gets 100 views, 1,000 views, or it gets 10 views, the next content is going to come out. The show does not stop because one video is doing well or not. So, and that way, when you are like, you can see what's getting traction and what doesn't get traction. And then you can say, all right, let me see if I can capitalize on that. But I say, focus on the content that is meaningful to you, that will be meaningful to other people, instead of just trying to like chase something, and then you really don't care about it. So then if it starts not to get any views, then you're going to lose motivation on it, right? So that is my thought on that, me, Mystify. But look, you do great work. People love those sound videos and those like testing out amplifiers and all that type of stuff. I've seen some of your comments. I have seen some of your comments. So don't lose motivation. Just keep at it. All right. You're growing. You know, it's part of growing pains. All right. So let's get to our very first question of the night. Let's see what happens with this one. I'm gonna give it a try. Okay, I am going to give it a try. let me go over here and we're going to go to this and we're going to go here. The first question, should you help your former employer after they have fired you? Yes. After they fired you, right? So it says, I just got fired. Now my former boss, the one that just fired this person, right? The one who let me go is asking me where some important documents are. Should I respond? Okay, so let's start a timer. All right, so I have heard this happen before. Has this ever happened to me? I don't know, because I probably started ignoring any conversation after a long time. So how should you respond when your former job fires you? They didn't lay you off, they just fired you. And now they're saying, hey, I need to know where these documents are that you are working on. And can you help me? Right? Well, a good feature that, phones and emails and stuff like that have is the block button. Sometimes you got to do a little blocky block, right? The second you are no longer an employee for a company, you have absolutely zero, zilch, nada obligation to that company. Especially if they are the ones who fired you. A layoff is a little different, you can that one. But if they fired you for whatever reason and now they need your help, well, you can also send them a rate. Well, my consulting rate is X amount of dollars. And if you really don't want to help them, you can make it so much that they're not willing to pay it. You do not have to help anyone that you do not want to help, especially if they're not paying for it. You know what? Speaking of that, right? Last week's kind of conversation, I was talking about how somebody reached out for me to help. They really wanted my help, and I ignored them, right? So the same way it's with the job. I tell you this over and over and over again. You are a business. You are a business. And you have to treat yourself as such. Your time is valuable. So when a company hires you, right? A lot of people they get into this whole thing like they're supposed to have like this personal relationship with their company and stuff like that. No. You're a business. A company is buying your time from you, right? They're buying, let's say 40 hours, the average, they're buying 40 hours from you. You're selling it to them at a price, whatever your compensation package is, right? Now, the second that they say, well, we no longer need your services, then you do not have to offer them your services anymore. Plain and simple. So now that because your former employer and your former boss has an issue, what's that got to do with you? Like, would I help? Sure. For the right price. And the right price is double what I was making when I was there. Maybe even triple. Because if you didn't need me 2 days ago, why the hell do you need me now? Why didn't you ask me the day before you fired me? I mean, do you think that companies, they don't know when they're going to fire somebody? They know, right? They've been planning on it. They have a reason, right? So I'm like, if you knew, where is that thing? Hold on a second. Something is bothering me. Give me a second. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So yeah, but if you knew, and you needed something, you could have asked me before. But now, because you didn't properly plan it, now that becomes my problem. It becomes my problem. I don't think so. Bruh. I don't think so. I don't think it's my problem. I think it's your problem. And I have no obligation to you. I did my job. Maybe you thought I did my job poorly while I was there, but apparently it was important enough that you couldn't help yourself but to reach out to me like, hey, where are these files? Hey, do you know about this and that? I'm sorry, I don't know about it. Good luck figuring it out. if you even decide to answer at all, you don't even have to answer. You don't. When you're on the clock, you give them what they need. When you're not on the clock, officially forever, then they get nothing. No soup for you. No soup for you. Right? That's my thoughts on it. You don't owe anybody anything. You don't have to. You don't have to feel like, oh, I have to respond because of so and so. So whatever. Nope, not happening. Out of there. No way, Jose. All right. So that is my thoughts. Let's wrap that question up. All right, so we're gonna jump right into the next question, right? And then if there's anything in the chat, did I turn the call? Hold on, did I turn on the call-in link? I don't know. Oh, it is on. All right, so if anybody wants to call in, feel free to click on the link that's pinned to the top of the chat. It's also in the description, and I'm also gonna drop it right now as well in case you are looking to have a conversation with me about anything you want, anything in tech you want to talk about, feel free to call in, all right? But with that being said, I'm going to go to the second question, and then we'll check the chat to see if there's anything to discuss in the chat, if there's any questions in the chat, just so we can keep the show moving along. Like I said, I have a meeting tonight, came up a couple of hours ago, and we run it up. We run it up, all right? So let's get to our next question of the night.
Another one.
My QA role is redundant. Should I become a developer? That's a great question. Well, let's see what this person has to say. Okay, so QA role at company is being made redundant, offered a role as a developer, right? So our QA department got informed today that there will be no longer any QA roles at the company. Whoa, that's kind of scary. They have offered a generous severance package. This hasn't been disclosed yet, which I suppose is crucial to the decision, or the chance to train as a developer and maintain the same salary or better than we are currently on. It will include 12 weeks training on Swift, which I've been assigned to an iOS development team. Does this sound like too good of an opportunity to turn down? The market at the minute seems tough to find another senior/lead level QA role. That is a good, tough question, right? So let's start a timer on this, right? So number one, I think that the company is making a huge error saying that the QA role at the company is redundant. That sounds like a complete recipe for disaster.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
However, if they are offering you an opportunity to stay at the company, right? And they're offering you training to be a Swift developer, that means working on iOS. It sounds like a good opportunity. The only thing about that, so you get 3 months of training on Swift. I would ask, what is your current level of comfort with iOS development and Xcode and all of that type of stuff? Because like I was just saying, I didn't even know this was coming up, but like I was just saying, Apple rejected my app because of screenshots, right? Because of screenshots of the app. So I think that it is a good opportunity, but you definitely do want to compare to see what that generous severance package is, because here's what might happen, right? One scenario is that you accept, because you've been in QA for who knows how long, you accept doing this developer role, this iOS developer role, and you go into the training, and then you suck at it, right? Not saying that you will, but if you do suck at it, and now they don't want you and they fire you, then you kind of miss out on the severance package, right? And is it the case that every single person in QA or just you have been offered to become a developer? Because if you get all these developers, who the hell is going to test the stuff? Are the developers going to test the stuff, or do they expect you as a iOS developer to also do QA on your own work, right? How does that work? So that's why I said it sounds like a recipe for disaster for the company. You got to weigh your options. You are right. The job market is tough right now, especially for QA. Senior lead level role. I don't know how tough that is. If you're good at your job, but I do know for those entry level roles, those mid level roles, it is a nightmare for them to find those jobs. Right? It really sounds like this.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
You know, so what would I do in this role? I think based on what you really want to do, if you want to go for the iOS developer role, then by all means go for it. I would say based on the time where they offer you the severance package and stuff like that, see what options are available, apply for some jobs to see if you are more inclined to stay in QA, right? If nothing comes around by that time, then by the time you have to make your final decision, then I guess you can go for this 12 weeks of training of Swift. It can only help you, right? But you definitely want to weigh your, at the end of the day, it is a numbers game, right? It's a numbers game. Are you able to sustain the impact of if you were to get the severance and it takes longer for you to find a job than your severance to last, that you're going to and find a job that pays the same, right? Versus if you keep your same pay at the same company, if you like the company, right? To learn Swift, right? Another thing that I would say is if your pay is the same as being there is no way that an iOS developer, especially one who does it with Swift, because Swift is like doing native iOS development versus doing like a Flutter or a React Native, there is no way that those developers would be making the same amount of money as a QA. Honestly, for me, in my mind, even if it's a senior position in QA or lead position in QA, because iOS development is hard. To me, I've never even looked at Swift code, but I can only imagine that it's complicated because Apple is complicated. Developing for Apple is complicated. Thank God for tools like Flutter and React Native that makes it a lot easier, and you're able to get the same app across multiple platforms, right? Like iOS, Android, Windows, whatever, right? But that's why I think that it at the end of the day it becomes a numbers game. If you really want to stay in QA and you can afford it, then go and test the waters. But if you like the company, if you're always interested in becoming a developer, then accept it and you're on with that, right? So, you gotta do the math. You have to do the math at the end of the day, okay? So let's go ahead and wrap that question up. All right, so let me check full screen real quick. And let me see what we got. MeMySify says that thanks for the inspiration. I'm gonna keep trying. You got it, man. You do good work. So don't try, just do. Don't try. See, one of my mottos is don't try, just do, and you figure it out from there. You make it work. You make it better. So you got this, MeMySify. You got this. All right. So let me see. All right. So we can keep going. It might be a quick night. Remember, the call-in link is open in case you want to call in and have a conversation. Feel free to click on the link. It is pinned to the top of the chat. It is in the chat. It is also in the description. Whatever you want, we can make that happen. All right. By the way, before you go on, I was talking to Rod Brown with Wendy, right before I got on, and listen. He has some amazing content coming out. I'm not going to have any spoilers, but he has some amazing content coming out. So if you are not subscribed to The Nourishing Word, go and check out The Nourishing Word with my guy, Rod Brown. Great page, up and coming content creator. Shout out to my guy. Do I have a link for this? Let me see if I have a link I can drop in the chat for Rod Brown's The Nourishing Word. Oh, let me see. I can get it from. Let's see if I have this link, because I would love to drop his link for you guys, because he does. And he puts a lot of time, energy, and passion into his work, and I really appreciate it. I know some people who watch it and they find it so valuable, including my mom. She's like, "Oh wow, this is really good. This is really good." Let me see. Do I have it here? I'll just pull it up on YouTube. Let's go to boom. There we go. Check out my guy, Rod Brown's The Nourishing Word. He has some amazing, amazing content coming out very, very soon. All right. There we go. Boom. All right. Let's continue on to our next question of the night. And shout out to everyone watching on X as well as on Twitch. Appreciate you guys over there too. And shout out to everybody watching on YouTube as always. Truly appreciate all of you guys.
I appreciate you.
All right. Let's jump into the next one for today. All right. So let's go to here, and we're going to go to back over here, and we're going to do question number 3.
Another one.
I lied to my boss. Now my boss is asking for proof. Well, that's going to be a tough one. That is going to be a tough one. Let me fix this thing real quick, because this thing is really bothering me. Let's go with boom. All right, cool. All right, so let me start this question off, right? It says that I lied to my boss saying that I wouldn't be able to go to work today because my cousin died. Wow, what a lie. What a terrible lie to do. You should be fired. You should be fired, right? That's terrible, okay? At least if it was like your cat or your dog or your pet turtle, but your cousin, don't kill off your cousin, okay?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Now she's asking me for proof of death with a death certificate. What should I do? Well, let's start our timer. There's good news and there's bad news, right? Do you want the good news first or the bad news first? So I'll start with the good news. The good news is that it normally takes a couple of weeks, I believe, in order to get a death certificate. Let me look it up real quick. How long does it take to get a death certificate? And it says, oh, well, never mind. It says in Florida, it can take 3 to 5 business days to get a death certificate says in some circumstances, it can take longer, but okay, never mind. There is no good news. You have about 3 to 5 days, right? At least in Florida. I don't know about other states, right? But at least in Florida, you have about 3 to 5 days. So let's jump into the bad news. The bad news is that you might get fired. You might get fired. And you would deserve it. Lying that somebody has died is like one of the, it's so bad. Like, what? Who does that? But what you should do. Oh my goodness. I don't see a way out of it. If your boss wants a death certificate, you can try to act like all high and mighty, like, oh, how dare you accuse me of lying about my cousin? But you might just have to eat it up, because they say, oh, I'm sorry, but I still want the death certificate, all right? Or can you bring me the little pamphlet that they have at funerals for the person who passed? They might say, can you bring that to me? And it's not going to work out to your favor, to be honest with you. So You could come clean, right? I mean, you should come clean. And they might fire you. They might not fire you. Here's another question. Why would your boss think that they have to ask you for a death certificate? Are you like that untrustworthy that they wouldn't believe you? I think that's a bigger issue. No? That your boss would say, "Well, I don't trust you. So I need you to provide me with a birth or a death certificate that says that your cousin actually died, and I need you to prove to me that that's actually your cousin, because you could just take any old death certificate and say, oh, this person is my cousin, right? And then the boss is like, can you show how they're your cousin? I mean, you're probably going to try that. You're probably going to try to take some random birth certificate and try to pass that off as that is yours, right? And any smart boss would say like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. That is not going to work. In the saying of not my second favorite, my favorite runner-up.
Do not come.
You did it to yourself. So your options are come clean, and hopefully they have some grace and mercy on your lying, or you quit and you say, you know what? I'm offended that you would ask me this type of question. I cannot work here anymore. I'm out. I'm leaving. This is too offensive to me that you would think that I would lie about my own cousin dying in order for me not to have to come to work. No. I cannot take working for a boss who would ask me for evidence to prove that I lied, although you did lie, that my cousin is dead. I don't know if they were killed, if they were murdered, maybe it was a drive-by. I don't know, right? I don't know how deep your lie goes, But that I had to go to a funeral on Friday at 5 p.m. for my cousin. So I missed Thursday and Friday of work. So you can quit and show disgust from your lies, or you can come clean and hopefully they have mercy on you. But there are no good options. You are a liar and the truth ain't in you. Let's wrap that question up. All right, we're going to go one more question, check the chat, and then we will. One more question, check the chat, and go from there. All right, so let's go to another question real quick.
Another one.
Is AWS certification worth it for a QA engineer with manual and automation experience? That is a great question. Let's see the full question though. All right. So it says, hey everyone. So I'm a QA engineer with 2.5 years of experience in both manual and automation testing. I've been considering expanding my skill set, and I'm always curious if pursuing an AWS certification such as AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner or AWS Certified Solutions Architect would be a good move for my career. My current work doesn't heavily involve cloud technologies, but I see more companies emphasizing cloud knowledge in QA roles, especially with automation frameworks and CI/CD pipelines. Would an AWS certification be valuable in the QA field, or should I focus on other skills like performance testing, security testing, or advanced automation? I'd love to hear your thoughts and your experience. So let's start our timer on that one. This is an absolutely fascinating question. I'm going to start off with this, right? I'm going to give you my direct answer first, and then I will break it down a little bit more, right? So, direct answer is yes. if you have the opportunity and the desire to get it, then definitely get it because you make yourself more marketable by having these certifications. Can you get another job without it? Can you do your job without it? Absolutely. I don't have my. I've been thinking about it, but I'm like, I don't want to go and study for a test when I know how to use all this or most of this stuff, right? Now I have to go study and know like the exact terminologies, and when I can just figure it out, it's not that like it doesn't really heavily impact my role, but and I have a lot of other things to do, right? But if you have the desire to get your certifications, then by all means, go and get it. It looks great on your resume, especially as a QA engineer, that you would have your AWS certifications. And while you're at it, you can go and get Microsoft Azure. You can get Google Cloud Platform. I have not. I cannot verify this. Do not quote me on this, right? But I would assume that a lot of the stuff is similar. It might be different terminology, different locations, and stuff like that, but they all, for the most part, end up doing the same thing. You know, a cloud is a cloud is a cloud. Pricing might be different. The syntax might be different. The way that you navigate is definitely different. That's for sure, right? But it doesn't hurt to have these type of certifications. They'll help you. It'll show that you are a Q engineer that has an interest in the cloud. And here's like for me, one of the important parts about me using the cloud is that I'm able to set up QA infrastructure. Being well versed in Docker, I can create Docker images. I can know how to test the application locally. I can set up cloud environments to test these applications. So it is very like. I think that it is very, very, it can be helpful. Like, do you need an AWS certification? You don't need it, but having it doesn't hurt. For me, it's always been knowing how to use it is more important than having a piece of paper that says I know how to use it. Like, especially in QA, even as a software developer, I think knowing how to use it is probably better than having because I'll tell you this, there are so many people, they pass a certification, but they don't know how to actually use Route 53, use Elastic Beanstalk, use the load balancers, use the Elastic Container Registry, all of that stuff, right, is in AWS. So you have to be somewhat not well versed, but you need to have an idea about those, right? So now if you have the certification and I go I'm like, oh yeah, they have their AWS certification. I go to interview you and I say, okay, how do you do this? And you don't know, then so I always say, learn how to use the platform. And now that you're good at you can set up QA environments, you can set up automation repositories, whatever, right? Then if you have the desire, because a lesson for me, I'm like, oh, you know what, I should learn this. I should probably get certified. And then I lose the desire to get the certification because I know how to use it, right? So that's just me. Now, as far as the other part of your question, right? Should you focus more time on performance testing, security testing, advanced automation? I would say definitely on advanced automation. Performance testing, I think you should spend some time on it, but not too heavily of a time because there aren't that many variations of performance testing on how to flood the application with traffic. So I say learn how to do it, of course, but it's not like you have to go to the end of the world to be. A lot of times, as you need these type of things, you'll figure it out. Security testing, it depends on what type of security testing that you're doing, right? I think it's important. I think that we should always have some type of security testing inside of our regular testing flows. But if it comes to ethical hacking and stuff like that, it's a different field that is outside of the general software, functional QA and stuff like that, testing APIs, testing UIs. It is good to know. That's why on Thursday nights we are doing the ethical hacking course so that we can get familiar with all these things. But as of right now, I see it as a totally different sector or realm of quality assurance where you will be fully consumed doing ethical hacking and penetration testing versus the testing of a story, because there are no real stories in ethical hacking, right? We need you to test this part of it to see, can you break it, right? Can you get in? Can you infiltrate the system? Where where software testing is more of a controlled type environment. So I think definitely number one, the advanced automation, performance testing is helpful, but it's not like you have to go super in depth. And security testing, definitely learn it, but it probably won't play that major of a role. You probably have some insight and context, but it probably won't make a play that big of a role inside of your day-to-day software functional testing, right? So that's my thoughts on that. All right. Up to my timer. Anyways, all right, let's wrap that question up. I didn't hear my timer go off. All right, let's wrap that question up. All right, let's go back to full screen and let me see who we got in the chat. So Mimaisify says the obituary. That's what I was thinking at first, right? But then I was like, is the little, because I also think about the obituary as something that you'd see in the newspaper. But that's what it's called, right? The little pamphlet they give you at a funeral, that's also called an obituary, right? So yeah, so that's what I thought that's what it was. I'm like, I thought the obituary was in the newspaper. So, and Night Jade says companies often require proof if you take bereavement leave. Oh, they should have thought about their lie a little better, right? They probably never researched like what happened. They probably said, you know what? My cousin died. I can't come to work tomorrow. And it's like, well, because they give you like normally 2 to 3 days off for bereavement. And then it's like, well, okay, cool. That's fine. Can you send me the death certificate? You should learn how to lie better. You should learn how to lie better. Or a novel idea. Don't lie. And don't waste all your PTO on non-important things so that when you actually need it, you don't have to go out there and kill your cousin, all right?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
We got my guy in the building, J-Lo on the track video productions. What's up, J-Lo? How are those videos coming? You guys, J-Lo makes some amazing sports video editing for his production company. Really, really cool stuff. I was watching some of his videos the other day. I think he just released a video of a kid. I guess it was a high school kid maybe playing, like a highlights reel of that. So that's really awesome. So shout out to my guy J-Lo on the track video productions. And Nigel says there is a story in hacking as well. Okay, see. That's why I am so thankful to have Nightjade in the building. Nightjade has been in cyber for a very, very long time. So shout out to Nightjade. Very, very helpful because I'm just speaking from what I think. Nightjade is speaking from what is, all right? All right. You know what? Maybe we'll get Nightjade on the channel one of these days, and she can give us some insight on all things cyber, how that all works out, because it's a wealth of knowledge right there. Okay, so let's continue moving on to our questions. Let's see. Let's go over here. Let's do this, right? We're going to go to our next question. Let's put up the scene and
another one.
I got lowballed on a job offer. Not sure what to do next. Bruh. That's rough, right? It says, so I need some advice and feedback. I currently work fully remote and was approached by a hiring manager to join her team. I had 2 interviews, first with the recruiter, second, the hiring manager, and a C-suite level person. This position is fully on site. Maybe it's a government role because you know what? All government employees are being required to go back to work. Oh my goodness. Where's my guy Magnetar when you need him? Where is my guy Magnetar when you need him? All right. It says, during my first interview, the recruiter mentioned the budget for the role was between $110,000 per year to $135,000 per year. I was fully transparent with my recruiter on how much I was currently making. She reassured me that they would be able to offer me above my current pay rate. note. I wanted to be transparent and didn't want to waste anyone's time if the budget isn't aligned with my worth, and my experience. What's any of our worth at the end of the day, right? What's our worth at the end of the day? So moving on to the second interview, it was 2 hours long, and honestly, I felt like it was an interrogation. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth, all right? So they were nitpicking at every single position on my resume. They even went as far to ask what other positions I applied for before landing my first job out of college in 2018. Whoa. I answered honestly, and 5 minutes later, they asked me again to make sure I didn't change my answer. Are you interviewing for the CIA? Oh my goodness. There were a lot of other things that happened during the interview that didn't sit right with me. At the end of the interview, they expressed that they really like me and will move forward in the hiring process. However, it never goes well after however. When I got home, I literally broke out crying because I felt like they poked at all my insecurities. Oh, that's so sad to hear. And tried to break me down by saying I'm not experienced enough and that they would need to invest a lot of energy and time into me, but they really love my personality. Well, that's sweet. I mean, they tear you down and they build you back up. That's sweet. I ended up sending an email to the recruiter to discontinue the hiring process. However, the hiring manager called me and reassured me that she will make an offer that I can't refuse. I'm going to make you an offer that you can't refuse. I'm going to make you an offer that you cannot refuse, all right? She confirmed she will be able to offer me a 20% increase. What? A 20% increase? Oh, let's get it. Let's get it. From my current salary or as close to that as possible. So fast forward, they ended up offering me about 5% less. 5% less than my current pay rate. Promised to give me a bonus based on my performance that is roughly $25,000 less than what they promised me. I just feel really hurt and disrespected. Put some respect on my name. I have over 6 years of experience and have been a high performer in all of my positions. I'm conflicted as they say they love me. They love to have me on the team, but ended up lowballing me and saying they no longer have the initial budget anymore. The budget recruiter mentioned in the first interview. I don't know what to do. Well, let's start our timer on this one. So, with all that's being said, right? It sounds like you still have your current job where you are making what you are okay with making, right? So the question that I have then for everyone, right? Why do we let other people, whether they're a family member, whether they're a boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, sister, a sister-in-law, a brother-in-law, a mother-in-law, a father-in-law, a mother or a father? Why do we let them have so much control over our emotions and our thoughts and our quote unquote our worth, right? That's why at the beginning and end of every stream, I play the song My Biggest Fan Is. Guess who? Guess who? Yes, if you guessed me, then you are correct. I am my own biggest fan. And I think that you should be your own biggest fan too, right? So if you are not starving for this job, right, and you went through the process, you know what? You can always say no. You can always say no. A lot of times people put so much power and emphasis on these companies. Like I said, you are your own business and you have to support yourself first. So if you do not like if if they were going to give me the 20% more, then I'm like, cool, I'm with it, right? I don't care about how they make me feel. When I'm looking for a job, right? I apply and I forget about it, right? I document it in case I need to follow up. And then I go to the interview and I interview and I forget about it. Whether it went well, whether it didn't go well, I'll assess my performance. If I stumbled on some questions, whatever, what I could do better. But I do not care, right? I don't care what other people think about me. None of that stuff. Because you know what? I know the way that I work, and I'm like, you know what? The company that gets me, they are going to be lucky to have my work ethic, my mind, my mindset, the way that I figure things out, right? You see the stuff that I do here on this channel? Well, guess what? Every company that I worked for, they got the same thing. Outside of all the fun that we have over here with all the lights and the sound effects and all that good stuff, right? Because, just working and stuff like that. But I am like, the excitement that you see that I have here when I'm speaking to you guys, that's the same excitement that I have at work. The same joking spirit and stuff like that. That's the same thing. But I also know how to perform, and it sounds like you do too. So why do you like, if they want to challenge your resume, then they should. I don't have any problem with them questioning everything on your resume, because guess what? If you put it on your resume, it is meant to be questioned. If you can't back it up, then don't put it. That's how I see resumes, right? You need to be able to like, as soon as they ask you a question, you need to be able to speak on it, and you need to be able to say, oh yeah, I did this, this is the value that I brought, blah, 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 like all that type of stuff, right? You shouldn't, people asking you questions about your background should not make you nervous. It should not scare you. You should be confident in the work that you did, right? And it sounds to me like you were, because at the end of the day, they still liked you. They still wanted to work with you. They like your personality. Now, as far as the skill set gap, I can't really speak on that, but apparently it wasn't that big of a deal for them, because they still wanted to offer you, they still wanted to make you an offer, and they still allegedly wanted to give you an increase in pay. Now, would I go for this job? Would I personally go for this job after all these little things? Like, honestly, it comes down to the money, right? If you tell me you're going to give me this much money, and then you say, oh, actually it's going to be like 5% less, then I'm like, and then you say, well, and then you have to work your way for your budget, because there is no bonus that is guaranteed. No bonuses are guaranteed, right? Based on performance. Now, it is not only based on performance. And that's the thing with bonuses, right? Bonuses are based on your performance. It has a percentage of it, but also the company's performance. So that's why if you're like, why would you want to go take a pay cut with people who put you through all of this type of stuff? Right? Why would you want to take a pay cut from that? So I would say no. I would say just keep your current job, and keep looking, keep trying to see if you can find better. But you do not have to feel hurt or disrespected or anything, because if you love me, show me that you love me by giving me my money.
Money. Hey.
That's how you show me that you love me. That is how you show me that you love me, is by paying me my money. All right? They'll say, oh yeah, we're family and stuff like that, but you got my money. If you have my money, if you owe me and you do not give me my money, then we are nothing. We're not family. We're not friends. We're none of that, right? Don't play with my green, right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. So sounds like they are playing with your money, and playing with my money is like playing with my emotions, Smokey, right? I'm just saying. All right. Let's wrap that question up. I'm just being honest. Right? Let's do one more question, and then we'll get to the chat. It looks like we're gonna have an early night tonight. I love it. All right, so let's get to the next question of the night. If anybody wants to call in, feel free to click on the link and then we can have a conversation. You don't have to be on camera, but you can be if you want to, right? So let's get to our next question of the night.
Another one.
How can I create a manual? Did they say manual? What? Did they say manual? Yes, they said manual. A manual QA GitHub project. I have no idea what that is. Oh, not that one. I have absolutely no idea what a manual GitHub project is, but let's find out together. So, hi, I want to start creating projects on GitHub to increase my chances of being employed. Okay. Please recommend websites or anything to help me achieve this. However, I started using YouTube to watch tutorials and do the work. Can I put those projects on GitHub as a reference? I have absolutely no idea what this question is asking.
Bruh.
But I will still attempt to answer it anyways, right? So let's get to it. So to start off with the answer, I like to give the answer first and then provide context. The answer is negative ghost writer. Sorry. Okay. Now, let me help you out a little bit, right? And this is the reason. This is the reason that people have such a hard time getting jobs, because they don't know what they're talking about. And it's sad and unfortunate, right? So, what is a QA manual GitHub project? Let's break it down a little bit, right? Manual QA is testing websites, writing test cases and executing those test cases, documenting the results of those test cases, all that type of stuff, right? GitHub is a, lack of a better word, it's a repository of code, it using Git, right? For versioning and stuff like that. What do the two, manual QA and versioning and GitHub and repositories, have to do with one another? I have no idea.
Bruh.
I have no idea. So this is why your chances of being employed are low to none, right? So
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And the interesting thing about this is, I'm curious to know, what did you watch on YouTube? What tutorials did you watch on YouTube to do the work of something that doesn't make sense or quite exist? Now, if you are talking about learning automation, that is a whole nother story. If you're learning automation, then you can try it on any site. You can use Amazon. You can use, although somebody that I'm coaching was trying to use Amazon to learn automation. And then because I guess they hit the Amazon site so much, Amazon started requiring them to put a captcha code in order to get to the site. But that's neither here nor there. You can use pretty much any website to practice automation. You can use any website to practice manual testing. However, it doesn't go in GitHub. It doesn't go in GitHub. On this channel, I did a project where I installed a test case management software, right? Called QE, test case management software, right? And I used Docker to install it locally. And then I logged in and I started writing test cases through that and grouping my test sets and putting my test runs in there. But that is different from a quote unquote a GitHub project. Now, if you wanted to do a project for manual testing, I would say you can show off some of your ability to, well, if you know how to do it, but your ability to push up, to set up a Docker container with running an application and logging into it and setting that up. That's a pretty cool project. That video actually had a good amount of views, right? I would do something like that where you can show off your test case writing skills, but you don't need to have that in GitHub. Actually, I would probably I would probably be slightly annoyed if I had if somebody sent me test cases in GitHub, like a repository for their test cases, because I would be wondering what's the purpose of that, right? I have another idea for you. I have another idea for you. Get Azure, get Microsoft Azure. What do they call it? Is it called Microsoft Azure DevOps? But it's like a test case management system in Azure, and you can probably get like a trial for it and stuff like that. Or they might have a free version of it where you can start documenting your test cases there. But to practice manual QA is to, I would say, you, I see what Night Jade is saying about people putting docs in there and stuff like that. You could do that as somebody who like hires for QA. I wouldn't care. Like if you just have your test cases in GitHub, I wouldn't care. Like I'm like, all right, whatever. Like if I'm gonna go to GitHub, I would like to see some type of code, maybe a README doc or something. I wouldn't really care about you just uploading, Word docs or something like that in there. That's just me. All right. But then again, I don't look for manual testers. I look for people who do automation. So I would like to see like some Python code, some Java code, some Playwright, some Selenium. That's the things that I'm looking for, because honestly, they're not really hiring manual testers like that. For every probably 10,000 manual test or people who graduate a bootcamp in manual testing, there's probably like one manual testing job available, right? Sorry to break your heart with that news, but you know, I got to tell you the truth, right? So you could put it in GitHub. I don't know how much impact that's going to have on anybody. I would say try installing Kiwi Test Case Management System. It is an open source test case management software. You can install it locally via Docker. Start writing some test cases, putting it in there. That is something that you could show off as like in an interview, saying, "Oh yeah, I set up a test case management software. I wrote these test cases for, I don't know, Amazon, Walmart, Home Depot, BJ's, Costco, whatever, and do different type of websites. Like, you can do some e-commerce, you can do some airlines, you could do Uber, you can do, the Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatever, right? And you can put some samples of those. That's a decent project that it's better than GitHub, because like when you work for a company, and for me, I'm always thinking about like, how can you more closely relate to what the company needs? And 99 times out of 100, a company is not going to store their test cases in GitHub. It might be Excel docs, it might be Google Docs, it might be a test case management system, but it will probably not be just random test cases like version controlled inside of GitHub. So that's why I'm like, I don't see a purpose of that, because there's not going to be any real practical application on that. So that's my thoughts on that. I think you have way better ways to practice manual testing by maybe Azure DevOps, Kiwi Test Case Management System, or any other open source system that there is. All right. So let's wrap that question up. That's a great question, though. That is an off question, but it's still a great question. All right. So let's wrap that one up. And let's go back to full screen. All right. So let me see what the chat has to say, and then we will continue. So let's see. Let me see. And my guy, as I'm telling you, as soon as I said that those federal employees have to get back into the office tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. sharp, my guy Magnetar is right here. Shout out to my guy Magnetar. Instant transmission into the chat. I told you. He's just like, boom. And it says the CIA. I don't know. They were asking like a lot of questions, right? They were asking a lot of questions like, so you said that you went to the store, right? And you said your first job was at McDonald's out of high school, right? And it's like, no, I didn't. I said it was Burger King. You said it was Arby's. So that's how it goes. That's how it goes. And Magnus says, snitches, we are up. Shout out to the King Snitcher himself. Says, break you down like Mariah Carey. See, there he goes. There, you know how it goes. You know how it goes. And Magnetour says that he also does not do well in interviews. I get nervous and start sounding like a boxer when I talk. Do you start being like how Obama was during the campaign when he was like started singing Eminem about his palms being sweaty and his arms are heavy? Well, however that song goes, but is that how you start to get in the interviews? Like you start getting like all nervous and your heart starts beating. I'm asking for a friend, Magnetar. I'm asking for a friend. All right. I'm going to try to say this, but I'm going to show it. It says, Yiba Daba Yiba. I tried. Right. And Nigel says, are they talking about writing test cases? I think so, Nigel. I assume that's what they're talking about when they're saying practicing manual testing in GitHub. So it says people put stuff that isn't even code on GitHub as well. So it's just docs. Yep. I think that's kind of useless unless they're trying to like version control it. I don't know. I find it weird to just put test case documentation on GitHub, especially like for stuff that really don't matter, like you're not really practicing anything by doing that. So if I don't know, just all right, that's right. If you're a manual tester, right? I'm just gonna say this. Just learn how to do automation. Just learn how to do automation. You'll thank me later. You will thank me later. Okay? I'm just saying, right? And let me see. Oh, it says that's inaccurate. What's inaccurate? You gotta be a little bit more specific. What's inaccurate? What is inaccurate? Let me see. And yeah, what's inaccurate? Like, help me out. What's inaccurate? And it says, what are you talking? Nigel, what are you talking about? You do not take that back. I'm not. You know what? You do not sound like an idiot. And it says kind of, but I don't get sick off spaghetti or. It says GitHub is like a living resume. That I agree with you 100%. And GitHub has that little heat map indicator of like when you push code and stuff like that. Now, granted, you can push some crappy codes just to make your heat map look good, but I absolutely love GitHub. I love GitHub. I love that like it shows all the different stuff that you're working on, the private repos, the public repos. For the people that I'm coaching, I actually got the paid version of my like I got a paid account where I can actually run some GitHub Action stuff. So I'm able to run like certain unit tests. I'm able like at one of my tech barbarians, they were able to start like learning how to do the playwright stuff, where they're able to set up the GitHub Action to run playwright. It does all that cool stuff. So yeah, GitHub is absolutely phenomenal. So I 100% agree with you on that. And that gives them talking points in their interviews to say, oh yeah, I've done playwright, I've done Docker, I've done all those good stuff, right? And Magnetar says, we do not have to return to office pronto. I know. I was just messing with you, Magnetar. Because I know how excited you get when people talk about RTO. But I'll tell you this though. Magnetar's tune has changed just a little bit. It was that they're just gassing us up. We do not have to return to office too. All right. We don't have to return to office pronto. It'll probably be next week. And I'll say this. It also doesn't have to be at 7:30 a.m. It might be at 7:45. It might be at 7:45. Just saying. I'm just messing with my guy, Magnetar. See, when you get a rich, I get to mess with you, Magnetar. So you got a rich, now I get to mess with you, okay? So let's continue on with the show. All right, let's go to our next. This is a habit. It went from it ain't happening to it ain't happening that fast. All right, let's go to our next question. Let me stop messing with Magnetar. Magnetar is my guy. Magnetar is my guy, for real. All right, so let's go to our next question. Let's go to the scene, and let's get to our next one.
Another one.
So, how to negotiate not having to relocate for a job? Well, that's an interesting question, right? So it says, I'm interviewing for a job that's saying they would require me to move to Texas. Well, that sounds like an awesome place to move, to be honest with you. Although Texas did get a little bit of snow the past few days, right? I'm just saying. Did California get any snow? Is it still Florida that is snowless, right? Although I don't know about Tallahassee because they might be pretty cold. Where's Alexis when you need her, right? Did it snow in Tallahassee? I don't know, right? But down here in South Florida, we can go to the beach. I'm telling you, right? Although it's been rainy the past couple of days, right? So, and it's been cold rain too. So it's like it's been like a cold 65 degrees down here, right? I'm just saying, right? I digress. I'm sorry. Focus, right? It says, I'm interviewing for a job that's saying they would require me to move to Texas. This is more of an executive role. The thing is, I'm not excited enough about the job to move across the country, but the pay is great. Like Tony the Tiger, great. Also, the job requires 20% travel and only 3 days in the office. It seems like such a waste to pick up everything and move away when I'm not even going to be in the office most of the time. I have a wife and 2 kids, all right? So last week it was a wife who had a husband and 2 dogs who was looking at moving. This one is a man who has a wife and 2 kids, and he doesn't want to move. He doesn't want to relocate, right? Our whole extended family is here. Well, whoa.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
That might make me say, maybe I should move. I don't know, right? So I'm just saying, right? That was not the soundbite I wanted, but it works well, right? My wife's job is also very demanding, so it would be taking her away from any help with the kids if I'm going to be potentially busy with work and traveling. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. That is a good point, right? So you need the help. Okay, it makes sense. It says, my question is, has everyone had experience successfully providing a counteroffer where you're able to stay in your home state, but flying out to the office each week or a certain number of days each month? If I were able to do that, the whole situation would be extremely ideal. It says, I wouldn't mind traveling to Texas nearly every week and being in the office 2 to 3 times a week, as long as I don't need to move my entire family. All right, so let's start the timer on this one, right? So here's the thing. When it comes to any type of negotiation are you willing to walk away from a deal? That is how negotiations always end up. Are you willing to walk away? Do they need you more than you need them? There's many things about negotiating salaries and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to who needs who more. Are you someone that they're like, oh yeah, you know what, we are willing to make concessions for this person, or do they have 3 people on deck? Like, okay, you don't want it? I have this person who's willing to move and do the things that we're asking them to do, right? So the question is, there's not how much do you want this job? Now, when it comes to the traveling for to be in the office 2 to 3 times a week, and then you get to travel every week and stuff like that, are you worth? And don't come in at me and say, "Oh, of course I'm worth it." No, is the company willing to pay for it, willing to deal with it? So here's my question. If the company is asking you to travel, or they're asking you to relocate to Texas for this job, and you say, no, right? Can I work from wherever I'm at and I'm willing to travel on a weekly basis? Who is going to pay for the travel costs? Is that coming out of your own pocket? Are you going to buy your own tickets? Or are you requiring the company to pay for that travel? Are you going to get a hotel every week when you go over there? Or are you going to rent an apartment? Who's going to be paying for that? See, that's the tricky part about your proposal, because the company's like, well, we'll pay for your relocation. And I have a friend who relocated, and the company gave him like 25 grand to relocate for their relocation fees. Now, my smart, frugal friend, he only spent like 10K on his move. So shout out to my friend. But they said, here's 25K for your move. Make it happen. And he moved. And he took his family with him, his wife, his kids with him, right? To Texas at that, right? To Texas at that. But now it's like you want to stay in your home state, you want to fly out. Here's another thing, right? For your, what level role is this? This is is that a leadership role? Let me see. It is an executive role, right? Here's the problem with this is that the reason that they want you at an executive role in the city is because they might need you to come into the office on a day that isn't really planned, right? It might be on a day that's not really planned. So let's say you have some people coming in on a Friday, impromptu. Hey, we need you here. Like, it's Thursday afternoon. Hey, we need you here on Saturday. Actually, I'm in, let's go with Michigan, right? I'm in Michigan. I'm freezing my butt off in Michigan, right? But I'm in Michigan, so I can't make it to the meeting tomorrow. But this is the reason that we wanted you to relocate to Texas, so that when we, like, as an executive role, we need you to meet with these people. We want you to be there in person. You know? So for me, it's like, how much pull do you have? How important are you to this role? Can they live without you? You know, that's my take on this. When they want you to relocate, it's for a reason. Now, you can try to negotiate it, but a lot of people are looking for jobs. A lot of people are looking for jobs right now. Why should they sacrifice for you? What is it that you're offering? What do you bring to the table that the person who also interviewed for the same position does not bring to the table? I understand. You could probably see, and here's how. You know, if they were not willing to accommodate your offer, which they probably wouldn't be, you could do this. You could fly out Friday night, fly home, and then fly back in either early Monday morning or Sunday night, and have an apartment over there, so that your wife can stay with the extended family and the kids and her demanding job and all that good stuff, right? But guess what? You're an adult. You have obligations that you have to fulfill. And if you want this job and they say, you know what? You're not worth the hassle. We're not going to pay for you to travel every week. If you want the job, you have to be in the city from Monday to Friday. You can work from home on Tuesday on whatever 2 days, right? But sometimes we're going to need you impromptu for a meeting and stuff like that. If it doesn't work for you, then, we'll find somebody else. We're not going to cry. We're not going to cry over spilled milk, right? So that is my thought on the whole ordeal on the trying to negotiate, not having to relocate, when part of the thing is you have to relocate. If it's like negotiating working from home, working hybrid and stuff like that, but the whole thing, hey, the first round of the job, you got to move to Texas. Can we negotiate that? No. Nope. All right, so let's wrap that question up. Alrighty then. So let me check the chat real quick. I'll check the chat and then we'll get to our last question for the night. All right. So let me see what my guy Magnetar has to say. He says, see, people want remote work. People want a lot of things, Magnetar. People want a lot of things, but sadly, you don't always get what you want. All right. So all right. Let me see what else we got. All right. Maxwell says perhaps the person could propose to take a lower salary if they can stay at their original location. I thought about that as an option. That's definitely an option. It just depends on what the company wants, right? Who knows what type of company it is? A lot of times these healthcare companies, they want you inside of they want you close enough. These fintech companies, they might want you inside of the bank. Who knows? Or inside of the company. Who knows, right? But my thing is, when they say from the very get-go, you got to relocate, and you're like, well, how about we negotiate the number one point? So that's my thoughts on it. It says management likes saving money, and it says just make sure the job offer salary is still more than their current salary. Facts, 100%. All right. So let's get to our last question of the night before we get out of here early. Oh, I'm so excited to get out of here early tonight. Unless somebody calls in with a question, then we can do that as well. All right. So let's go to back over here. And our last question of the night.
Another one.
Oh, I automated myself out of a job.
Bruh.
You got to be careful with that automation. Right? So let's take a look at this one. It says, I automated myself out of a job. That is a first. I expected it would happen at some point in my life, but not that early. Worked at a smaller company, about 30 devs. It was pure hell in the beginning. Within about 3 years, we fixed every problem and automated standardized everything that might disturb the developer's workflow. I tutored everyone on and documented everything. We actually got the ball rolling to a really sweet spot. The last few weeks were pure boredom. You see, that's something you never, ever say.
Bruh.
Since there were no legit projects left. Well, now they kicked me out of the company. Nothing left to do. I'll get full salary for 2 months, only 2 months, and don't have to work a second anymore. Okay, well, let's answer that question. Let me start our timer, our last one for the night. So, I don't understand how people cannot find a way to stay busy at work. There is always, I cannot remember a time where I said I have nothing to do at work. There is always something to do. Okay? I have stories in the backlog that I don't pull into the sprints that I work on the side because of so much sprint work going on and me being available to write test plans, execute test cases, write the automation for those while I'm still working on my side work projects, right? There is no, you don't say that I'm bored at work. No, because if you're bored, then that means you have nothing to do. And guess what?
Congratulations, you played yourself.
You are up and out of there. Oh, you have to. Guess what? If you are learning new automation tactics and repos, let's say you put the devs in a good spot, Selenium, all this type of stuff, they can run their automation. What about when there's new automation that needs to be written? What about if you learn how to do Playwright? So, because guess what? How can you optimize your workflows? How can you automate your automated test? Can they run faster? Can they be more reliable? Are they flaky? Can you set up something with Docker? to run them in the cloud. Who knows? How's the CI/CD pipeline? Did you set up for? What about continuous CI/CD, continuous integration, continuous deployment, continuous delivery? What about continuous delivery? Are you finding all the way possible that you can do to make your QA workflows as seamless as possible?
What's this? Oh, it's only money.
What? Shout out to my guy, Rod Brown with 1D in the building. Shout out to my guy, Rod Brown. Rod Brown, I'm going to read your super chat in just a second, but I had to acknowledge you. I appreciate you so much, Rod Brown. All right, let me finish this question out. You see Rod Brown is throwing me off my game and stuff like that because he just showering me with money. Thank you so much, right? But I would say like technology doesn't stop. So you always have to be looking, how can we make it better? This is working.
What's this? Oh, it's only money.
What are you guys? Was that Roxy? Rock the Scrubs. Roxy, thank you so much, Roxy. You guys are too much. You guys are too much. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
All right, let me try to get through this question. My friends are making it very, very hard for me. All right. So, like I said, you want to continue to improve. How can AI play a role in your QA? Can you implement something with AI where if you find a defect, it already starts to automate how you create the defect, writing it up for you, learning like language, large language models. There's so many things that you can do. There are so many things that you can do in QA. How's your framework? Can you enhance your framework? How can you make it better? So the being bored at your job, that's a you problem. I don't believe that there is any job that you should be bored at, because guess what? If you're bored, you better. Let's say when I was a teenager, right? I was a park attendant. I would sit at the park upstairs all day.
What's this? Oh, it's only money.
See, you guys don't want to hear this question, right? You guys don't want the answer. You guys don't want the answer. Shout out to my guy Magnetar as well.
We the best.
I'm gonna read all the super chats as soon as I'm done with this question, right? Almost done, right? But my goodness, I just tearing up real quick, all right? Let me compose myself, right? But I think that like I was a park attendant and I would sit for hours upstairs, and what I should have done at the time was, if there was a Udemy available at the time, I would have been having my laptop. I would have been learning about coding way earlier than I started learning about it. And I would have been, who knows where I would have been right now, you know? So even if you have a job where you're not really doing anything, better pull out your iPad, pull out your iPhone, go learn something. Udemy, Coursera, YouTube University, whatever. You go and do that. All right. And you level up that way. Especially when you're working in tech. There should never be a dull moment, because things are going to break. You have to fix them. Fortify the systems. Nothing is ever perfect. And you should never, ever have the ability to work your way out of a job. That's a you problem. That is totally a you problem. All right. But with that being said, I'm going to wrap that question up. All right, let me get back to full screen. Let me take care of these people who want to so graciously bless your guy right here. So let's start off with my guy, Rod Brown, the nourishing word, Rod Brown. So truly like Rod Brown. Like I shared your link earlier, and I'm telling you, you have absolutely no idea. Because, trust me, I know people do not leave comments that much on videos, but the work that you do is impactful. So you're blessing a lot of lives. I see your channel is growing, so keep it up. I'm really proud of you, right? But let me read what Rod Brown says. Rod Brown says, shout out to Tech Coach Ralph for the OBS help. It was my pleasure, Rod Brown. I believe in the work that you're doing, and I just want to help you with whatever it is that you need. And you've been a supporter of this channel for a long time. You've called in, we've had conversations. And we're both in tech. I have met Rod Brown in person as well. So that is why I stand behind my guy, Rod Brown.
Let's get it.
All right. And we have a super chat from Roxy as well. Rock the Scrubs, Roxy. Thank you so much. She says, no words, is just pure love. Thank you so much, Roxy. You are absolutely amazing.
We the best.
And we have one from Magnetar as well. Magnetar, he says, stop the federal employee hate.
Bruh.
Magnetar, I love federal employees. I love federal employees. I love federal contractors. I have a few of them in my family. I have at least one in my family. I probably have a lot more, but I have at least one in my family. So shout out to the feds. Shout out to the feds. My guy Magnetar. And we have my guy in the building, Mitch. What's up, Mitch? My best friend, Mitch.
Did we just become best friends? Yup.
How you doing, Mitch? How are you? I haven't spoken to you in a couple of days. Making sure you're good. I know it's cold out there in Jersey. Just let me know. Give me a thumbs up that you're good, Mitch. Give me a thumbs up. All right. I didn't see you yesterday on Talk That Tech either. We're talking about Apple and stuff like that, and you would have loved that segment, Mitch. I'm just saying. All right. Let me see. That's what Microsoft Teams is for. Look, Magnetar. I don't disagree with you. I think Microsoft Teams sucks. I like Slack better, but that's neither here nor there. I would say that some roles, they kind of require an in-person presence, right? I'm just saying. Some, especially like with those executive roles, So it says, be careful when they start saying things like, do you know of any innovative methods, or invite you to some meeting regarding automation? See, I'm not afraid of that, because I'm partly responsible for a lot of people not having their manual QA jobs, right? When you can set on a schedule to run thousands of automated tests, especially API tests, right? 3 to 4 or 5 times a day, where it would take one person a week to get through all those test cases. But I'm like, you know what? I do not run in the victim Olympics. I say, you know what? I will be the one that's going to learn how to do all that stuff. And then when more people start to learn how to do that, that's why you see me. I go into DevOps. I go into CI/CD. I go into Jenkins. I go to Team City, all of that type of stuff. I do not I'm always going ahead and I'm saying, how can I apply this to quality assurance? How can I do all these things? And then I share it with you, right? Right? So I don't worry about that. I do not worry about that. Let me see. Rod Brown says he started the train. You sure did, Rod Brown. You sure did. I appreciate that, Rod Brown.
Appreciate you.
And Magnetar with the heroic laugh. I don't know, Magnetar. I think your laugh kind of sounds like this. That is a great pause, Mitch. Mitch, that's a good one, Mitch. That was a good one, Mitch. And Magnetar, Rod Brown has a message for you. He says, get back to the office, all right? It says, I was there. I saw your comment. I didn't say anything, though. I didn't. I was like, my guy shouting me. You know how we do, Mitch. Mitch, I have a question for you, Mitch. I have a question for everybody here, actually, right? Are you on this app called Fanbase, this social media app called Fanbase? honestly, yesterday was my first time hearing of the app fan base, and I was just curious to know, are you guys on the app fan base? I didn't sign up for it, but I heard about it. I'm like, oh, okay. And I didn't even know that existed. So, oh my, are we gonna have a boxing match? Because Rod Brown, like, he was like 3 minutes late to the meeting because he was coming from the gym. He said I should see the other guy. So I don't know, Magnetar. I don't know if you want to do that. Rod Brown is calling the FBI. So Magnetar has a point there. They are on his side, not our side, Rod Brown. So I'm just saying. Let me see. And Mitch says, nope, not on fan base. I was just wondering because all these apps, all these social, I'm like, I never heard of these apps. So I don't know. If there is a possibility to make some money on it, I might sign up. And if I could stream, if I can send it towards there, I'm gonna check it out. Actually, I'm gonna check it out to see what's happening. All right, because if I can make some money on there, then why not? Why not? All right. And Rob Brown says, I threw up some good weights on the bench today. Shout out to that. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it for tonight. I think we're gonna get out early. We are going to get out early. I don't know when's the last time we actually finished this early. I'm excited. I'm about to go have some dinner. I am gonna go. Then I have a call at 10:30. We're gonna run it up. We are gonna run it up on the way out. I have a question for you guys. Oh, actually no. One more thing. Got this video today where they were using some AI-ish type of clone. That thing was scary. It was bad. I think what I'll do on Thursday to start off the show, we're gonna look at it to see what it's about. It was kind of creepy, to be honest with you. It looked like a Chucky scene, to be honest. Like a Chucky scene. We'll check it out, and we'll see what that's all about on Thursday to kick off the show. Remember, tomorrow morning, large language models. I'm going to be mapping out my my content creation automation workflow that I want to build before we get into investigating next week the different AI platforms, Claude. I guess Perplexity, Gemini, ChatGPT, all those. We're going to explore those, but that's for next week. Tomorrow, we're going to be mapping it out. We're going to be having our premiere tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow at noon for how I ended up using UTM on the Mac to set up Kali Linux. And then Thursday, we're going to be going live Thursday night for our ethical hacking course. We're going to be looking into reconnaissance, information gathering stage 1 of penetration testing, ethical hacking. All right. But my question to you as we wrap it up for tonight, my question to you is simply, did you have a good time? Did you have any fun tonight?
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I had a great, grand old time with you guys. Answered a lot of questions. We got through everything. So happy. My video editor is going to be really, really happy that I got all 8 questions in for tonight. And we had great conversation in record timing. So thank you so much. But you guys know that yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is not tomorrow's price because...
One more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is going up. All right. Magnetar says that I was an hour late. Look, Magnetar, I do not take time clocks or time stamps of when you get here. As long as you're here, that's all that matters to me. All right. That's all that matters to me. Oh my God. Why? Right says late because you too lazy working remote.
Bruh.
That even hurt me. Rod Brown. Like I feel the anger that's flowing through Magnetar's veins right now. Oh my goodness, that was harsh. That was harsh. But it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. Anyways, friends, family. We're gonna get out of here. You guys have a wonderful. All right, I'm trying to. But it says sounds like hatred to me. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. I agree. I agree, Mitch. That was evil. That was evil. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah, you guys go beat up Rod Brown on the Nourishing Word. But honestly, subscribe to his channel. Really, really good stuff. All right. With that being said, I am out. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Tech Coach Ralph, we are out.
They said I wouldn't make it, they laughed at my dream. Every move I made felt like swimming upstream. But yesterday I met a fan, eyes full of belief. In their gaze I saw the end to my grief.
Doubt didn't win, trust began. Looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I saw myself alive. I put in all the hours, climbed out from the dirt. They dissed and dismissed, said I'd always get hurt. Met a fan so loyal, reflections don't lie. My biggest supporter is just me in my mind.
Through the noise and shadows I held my ground. Bumps, bruises, broken, no comfort found. But that fan smile turned my world around. Now I'm rising sky high above the sound.
Doubt didn't win and trust I began. When I looked in the mirror, saw my biggest fan. Heart beats like a drum, fight through the span. Kept on pushing, now I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man.
From the ashes I flew, they can't dim my flame. Every mocking voice only fed my aim. Yesterday showed me it's not just a game. Cause in my reflection I found my name.
Folks called it trash, said I'd never thrive. Every word I spat, cut deep like a knife. Thought my wings were clipped, stuck in a dive. But mirrors don't lie, I'm the man. People come and people go, like shadows in the evening glow. Whispers here and there they go, empty promises they boast. Can't rely on fleeting whims, falling through the cracks again. Trust is something they don't know, always drifting with the flow. Flaky people break my stride, never know just where they hide. Think they're stars but they ain't bright, better fix it, get it right. Show up late and then they're gone, singing the same tired song. Never serious, never true, got no clue what they should do. Think the world revolves around them, but they ain't worth a single gem. Lost in their own hollow fame, playing such a tiresome game. Flaky people break my stride, never know just where they hide. Think they're stars but they ain't bright, better fix it, get it right. Better fix it, get it right. fix it, get it right. Better fix it, get it right.
Goodbye, crabs in the barrel, no more dragging me low. Turn my back on the sorrow, watch how strong I'll grow. I'm waving from the shoreline as I head for the sun. Life is calling me forward, now the journey's begun. Thanks so much, but it's time to say goodbye. Bye, bye, bye. Goodbye, bye, bye. I've gotta go and live my life. Tangled in their web of lies, chasing shadows in disguise. Thought they had my back for sure, realized they're wanting more. Walking away from shadows past me I've outgrown. They clung to my dreams while they polished their own stone. Thought they had my back, but they were pulling me down. Goodbye to the crabs, I'm leaving this tired town. Pulling me down deep below. In a barrel anger grows, crabs in corners seeking light, only find the darkest night. They laughed while I stumbled, fed doubts to my mind. Mirror reflected faces of a different kind. Chains made of whispers didn't let me fly free. Now I'm breaking loose, leaving shells in the sea. Goodbye, crabs, I'm walking free, 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 free. Dreams fade one by one, fading one by one. I won't stop till I'm gone, till I'm gone. Climbing out of pits of doubt, turn my back, no looking out. Past the sorrow, past the pain, leave your echoes in the rain. Every step I take now feels light on my feet. No more anchors pulling me down to deceit. Echoes of freedom in the beat of my heart. From the weight of the past I am ready to part. Thanks so much, but it's time to say goodbye. Goodbye, bye, bye. Goodbye, bye, bye, bye. I've gotta go. The path ahead is lonely, but my spirit's alive. No more shadows around me, no more tales to contrive. Rising above from the deep darkest blue. Farewell to the crabs, I've got new skies to view.